Oh, well, I guess we should probably talk a little bit more about the error leveling system, because we have had a bunch of data mines, ladies and gentlemen, and the good news is that, yes, based on what we are data mining right now, I say we, this is nothing to do with me, guys. Based on what has been data mined so far, you will be able to get your characters to level 65 just by doing their marquee events and engaging in Colosseum, okay? This will be completely free to play, accessible for everybody, but there's just one question mark around error currency. So I want to go over the latest data mines and show you some spreadsheets. Yes, I am being Calvin Scribble awesome, just less attractive and more follicularly challenged. I can speak. Anyway, let's break it down. So we'll start off by showing my face, apparently. We'll start off by talking about the initial concept of what's bothering people about the error leveling system. Right now, the way that CG has purported it to be, you know, there's no way to really get them to level 65. You get stuck at level 16 because the marquee events just don't award you with anything. You know, you can't progress very far without just opening up your wallet. And I've already explained how that is a bad concept. CG really should have been a little bit more transparent about how this leveling system is going to work going forward. Now that we've had the data mines, we can beat CG to the punch and get those answers. They're probably going to post a video or something right after I make this video. I guarantee you, after I finish this video, CG will post something. Anyway, we've had a bunch of data mines and we need to look at it. And then I'm going to run you through a spreadsheet, okay? That should calm things down just a little bit. Okay, so here we are inside of the latest data mine from the Swigger.gg people. People like SigSig, okay? So what they've done is they've seen that tier 1 of the new marquees are going to gradually give us a boatload more materials and error currency compared to what we got for the first era. You can see over here getting 2,825 Mark 1 Grek ability modules and 160 basic 1 performance scores. That's not the currency, obviously, that's the materials that you need to go from level 1 to 15, or really 5 to 15, 6 to 15, right? And then 19,200 currency. So we can see how, compared to Luke, this is a big jump. Because previously Luke got 3,000 error currency, 75 Mark 1 Grek, and 10 basic performance score. We are basically getting, what, like 10 times that amount easily. You know, quite a bit more in terms of the materials, so you could immediately be able to level up your characters, right? But when it progresses then onto Yoda and Chewie, we get all of the same again, but we're getting even more. We're getting the Mark II materials, and then we're getting even more error currency, and so on and so forth. As these marquees progress, we are getting more and more materials that will help you go from, at first it's 1 to 5, and then it'll go 5 to 15, and then you'll go 15 to 25, and 25 to 35, etc, 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 with every new marquee. Now don't ask me why CG did it this way. I'm sure they had their reasons, and I really want to hope that the reasons were not to trick you into spending money on error currencies and level up materials so you can dominate the tables. I really hope that's not the case. I'm sure there was some complex balancing that they had to do, but really, CG, you could have just told us. You could have just told us, and not with a trust me bro kind of statement, just to kind of let's go forward and give you the actual answers, okay? That would have helped. So anyway, a friend of mine within my Discord has done some amazing work just putting together entire large spreadsheets of math on this, right, to see what kind of position that we're in. And I'm going to try and run through it, but it's a little bit confusing, okay? So this is the spreadsheet that my gentleman, Mr. Grogu himself, has put together, and he's basically detailing all the different materials and the currency that you need to get any marquee up to a certain point, right? So you get all this stuff. That's what the stuff you need. This is what was provided through the initial marquee. That's what you get through the episode track, right, for completing. And then that's the leftovers. This is the difference between what you are given during the marquee and how much you need, okay? So obviously we're showing here a shortage of 92,000, but as it progresses, right, provided through the Colosseum, this is through if you happen to beat tier 1, if you happen to beat tier 2, etc, 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 okay? So we can see the first episode track, not so great. The first marquee, really terrible. But if you go in and take a look at all of this, what actually turns out being the case is that you actually get given far more than you actually need. Can you see over here these Mark 1s? Well, the Mark 1s are like a catch-up mechanic for Luke. So the Mark 1s are overcompensating so that you'll actually be able to get Luke up to level 15 for free. And then after that, each marquee that comes out is basically giving you enough to progress all that you need through to level 15, through to level 25 and beyond. It kind of caps you each time. So IG 90 comes out, it kind of caps you at level 15. And then Choda comes out and it caps you at level 25. And then we get now we get Asajj Ventress, and that's going to take you up to the next level cap, right? So, like I said, up to 15, up to 25, up to 35, right? Then we get Barriss, and it gives you enough to get up to 45. Then you get Vader, and then you get enough to go all the way up to the top. He sort of finishes off the last set. Now, there are a couple of things that we do need to say about this. Couple of things that we do need to qualify with this is that, one, currently they've only data mined the tier 1 of the marquee, so there's going to be other stuff as well that exists in other tiers of the marquees. Some of it will obviously be in the higher pay to unlock sort of tiers when you get to like 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars, that sort of thing. But based on what we are currently seeing, you're not getting enough error currency, and it's quite significant amounts of error currency. Now, I have a slightly different spreadsheet that I was working on separately before this one got forwarded onto me, and it's obviously a much better spreadsheet overall, so I thought I'd look at it. But the way I was looking at it was I was just looking at what do we get basically from these marquees and how much do we actually need. So it seemed like the Mark 1 Grex, there was a difference, but this difference here, based on what they give you in just the marquees, you are a little bit below, but these materials here that you actually get through doing the various tiers of the Colosseum, those individual tiers. So if I open it up right now and show you, as you progress through Colosseum and you beat these tiers, you're getting additional material mats here. These are one-time things for each of the 4 different bosses that we get. Because we are getting more powerful as we go on and we're increasing our levels, we'll be able to earn the higher tier rewards on that one-time basis, right? And these combined with the materials that you get from the marquees result in, at the end of the era, you get your 6 marquees at era level 65. That's kind of the long and short of it. They've done the math, they've worked it out. The only concern right now, like I said, is that we currently do not see how we get enough of the error currency. Now, of course, in the error store, you can go in and you can spend your 2,000 crystals and you can get yourself additional error leveling currency, and that's all very well and good. But you don't want to have to be spending your crystals, and you shouldn't be having to spend your crystals to get to level 65. Now, there are other things that talk about, what do you do if you go through the error store? What do you do if you are someone that's whaling? Like, where are you expected to land in the error leveling currency process? We don't know just yet, but we should have some answers relatively soon, hopefully from CG. I'm still incredibly baffled as to why this information was not made available straight away, because everybody is losing their minds over it, myself included. They've decided to change up this marquee structure from being a bit of a sprint like it was before, where everybody was super keen to try and get your shards on your marquee characters straight away, because the marquee system is up and you want to make sure you get your shards as high as possible so that you can unlock a 7-star marquee at the end. All of it was like kind of slapdash, right? Especially when there's a journey guide event that's coming. We are so conditioned to think we must get everything for this character immediately, otherwise we might miss a legendary unlock, right? That they've changed the structure now to be a slow roll that I can only imagine is designed to give whales an advantage when they're playing in Colosseum leaderboards on a daily basis. They're like, listen, we're giving whales the opportunity to spend their money right now so they can jump to the top of the leaderboards and they can get extra currency through the Colosseum era currency, whatever it's called, right? That's what I feel like they've designed this to do. Rightly or wrongly, they've designed this structure and the marquee structure to play hand in hand. Right now, if you are investing in characters for error levels, you're doing it to try and climb on this daily Colosseum rewards, to try and get your 1,000 Colosseum credit payout thingy every day, so then you can go over into the shipments for error shipments, and you can turn that into coaxial server motors if you're endgame, or you can look at getting lightspeed tokens to save yourself some chirotech, or to help work on your GL farms. That's what it feels like it's designed to do. They've kind of separated this marquee event structure from this Colosseum setup. right? Because you could get stars. Stars almost don't matter in this. They'll matter later on when you've capped out your error level, right? Stars almost don't matter as much as error levels do at the moment. That'll probably change. I think there will be a break-even point when you're past a certain error level that stars start to matter more. And obviously when you get to 65, you can't actually get any higher unless you have gotten more stars. But that's okay because that was already baked in. But it feels like they've separated these two things. And the only reason for you to really invest in your error levels early and up front is if you want to get on this leaderboard and stay high. Okay? If you want to get on the leaderboard and stay high, invest now. And that's how you get this stuff, right? If you don't, and you just care about getting the character to 7 stars, don't worry about the error level. It'll be okay. You'll get to 65. You'll get your gear 12 unit at the end of it. All right? If you just care about stars, fine. Do that if you're going to wail on the character. But really, honestly, CG, you could have saved us a whole lot of mess, fuss, stress, crying, shouting, angry pitchforks everywhere if we'd have just found out about this from the get-go. But hey, at least we have some of the answers now. Hopefully there is more access to additional error currency coming down the line. And I guarantee you, when this video goes out, CG's going to be like, here you go, Scribe, you're wrong, you stupid bald Welshman. How'd you like them apples, baby?